Hi there. I know you're looking at this screen and you're probably thinking, what the hell is all that I'm looking at? Well, I'm about to tell you. On Instagram recently, I've been posting frequently about an art project I've been working on. And for the record, look, not to, unveil the magic or anything, but look, this video is unscripted. So, I am gonna be, you are gonna hear some of those ums and uhs, but it is what it is. I'm just talking about a art project that I made, so I'm not worried about having some crazy well-scripted video or anything like that. But, just disclaimer. But yes, I'm basically doing a toy review, straight up, of unofficial, fan-made SCP Containment Breach action figures, dolls, SCP Barbie dolls. I made SCP Barbie dolls, basically. Now, here they all are, in a nice little line here, every one of them that I made. Now, this is not every single SCP presented in SCP Containment Breach. I was so not about to do that. No, this is just a select handful of some of the most popular ones that I thought would make for some really nice figures. And I'm going to tell you... Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about specifically how I made these figures, why I only have a few selected, and all that jazz. I'm going to give you the whole story. So this is kind of an art project review and also some story time. So a little story time about the production of these figures that I've been doing for quite literally like the past 4 to 5 days. So I'm going to take each of them individually and show them off, get them a little close up to the camera, and yeah, we're going to have a good time. Now, contrary to what seems usual of like going through like the most popular ones, like I think most people would expect, oh, we're gonna see SCP-173 first. Well, that makes sense, but that's not really what I want to do. Instead, what I want to do for this is talk about each one that I made, which made them... Whoa, sorry. Talk about them in the order that I finished them. So... the first one that got finished is SCP-049.
Hello.
And it'll help with the whole story process of how I did these. I want to take another figure that I have sitting around and show you. Every single one of these guys, except for 173, 1048, 066, and 079, are made from the... well... these things. These, your typical wooden mannequins for drawing references and all that shit. You can display them, put them in a whole bunch of different poses, whatever. This is the origin of this idea. I've been wanting to make these figures, actually, specifically these SCP figures, for a few years now. It was an idea that I had... I don't know, a few years ago when I was like really into... I still love SCP. It's been a while since I've been into looking at stuff with SCP, up until I got these figures. I had gotten 2 before. However, I figured out that the price to obtain enough for me to do was... I didn't expect the mannequins to be as expensive as they were. So I never got around to it when I wanted to do it. However, recently, my aunt let me have some that she had sitting in her art classroom, in her little closet where she has a bunch of art supplies. There were like 4 of them. So I got 4 extra little mannequins for totally for free. So when I brought those home, I was like, wait a minute. It's time. But the mask is clay, and this is going to start a trend that you're going to see with more and more clay being used. Oh, that is kind of creepy. Oh, shit. this was a good project to do for me right now to practice. Number one, get back into clay modeling, which is going nice start, honestly. Um, and practice sewing. Sewing for little small figures, especially since I keep trying to do stop motion stuff. And these guys could totally be used for stop motion too. I don't plan on making some sort of SCP stop motion. I mean, I could. It'd be a cool idea, but I'm not doing it right now. But you can. What's great is that you can put these characters in their specific poses from the game. So like 049's holding his hand out, following you, chasing you. You can do that.
Yet another victim of the disease.
And it looks cool. I like it a lot. As you can tell, the fabrics for the undergarment and the hood are different. I wanted to differentiate for some nice contrast. So this is actually the fabric from a pair of pants, and this fake leather is from an old Halloween costume, like a pirate costume or some shit. Here's the back. Nothing much going on with the back, you know. I mean, I don't need much going on. The little point at the hood is a little big, but again, it's the back. It ain't that big of a deal. But yeah, a simple one, but a good start and a good way to get me going too on this project. Especially since 049's, call me basic or predictable, but he's one of my favorite SCPs. So yeah, let's go to SCP-106. This is where, well, with both of these first figures, I was debating from the start if I wanted to do something with the hands, because I had planned specifically to do clay modeling with the faces. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do something with the hands or the feet. After getting basically this entire guy painted, I looked at it and I was like, you know what? There's a bit of a charm to just the silly little nubs. I think I'm just gonna keep it like that. But and also looking at this figure, I'm realizing my light is a little on the heavily exposed side. Whether this is relevant or not, maybe I might see if I can do some editing tweaks with whatever. But the paint colors that you're seeing on the screen are a little on the light side compared to what they actually are. But it's okay. You're still getting a good view of the figure. So, his leather vest is actually the same material as 049's hood. And, I mean, really, this is a simple one. I mean, it's just a paint job on the wood. But what's interesting about this one is the head sculpt. So what I did with this is I took, if I can bring them back out again. They're all sitting with this basic head, right? This basic bowling pin-esque looking head. I took my clay and I modeled almost sort of a helmet-like shape around. That's creepy. I love that. Around the wooden head. Gently scraped it off. And as you can see, it's much more obvious in the back. Glued it to the head, and there we go. We have a molded head for the character. And I could have just done like I'm just gonna paint the head. I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to have these guys stylized, like, so again, it is a little bit of like, well, if I did clay for the head, why didn't I do that for the hands and feet? I think the hands and feet are one thing. I mean, I've seen some SCP Containment Breach mod, not all of them, not 106 or 049, but I feel like there are a few where it's like, they don't do a whole lot with the hands. They just kind of make them points and then a thumb. But, at the very least, I wanted the heads to add some uniqueness. So, yeah, there's SCP-106. 106 and 049, I'm very proud of. I like these guys a lot. And, again, he's, can make him walk. It can make him, turn around all creepy like. walk towards you. Good stuff. So, yeah. There's SCP-106. Next up on the dock is SCP-035. Now, here's where I start to make my own artistic liberties with some of these guys. If you know the game, and you know 035's appearance, you would realize that this is not the outfit he's wearing. He's possessing a scientist with a full white garb. I just wasn't fond of that. I wanted 035 to have a little bit more color going on with him. So his mask is already white. I figured the D class is a more interesting look because you got white and black at the top. You have orange for the bottom. I just think it looks nicer. And you're going to see later, I make another change like this, and I bring the scientist costume in for another. But we'll get there. 035 is one of the, I think he's the only one where it's possessing a human, and I didn't feel the need to paint his arms, so his arms can just stay the regular wooden-looking arms. But, this is the one where 049 went well, the sewing. I love this figure, but I can't exactly say the same for him. You can tell, very simple things, like you can see the stitching on the pants, and most atrociously, the shirt does not exactly fit. So you turn around to the backside and you're looking at this fugly mess of a sewing job. I went with it and I excused it for a few reasons. Number one, I mean, he's supposed to look kind of shitty anyways because of the mucus and the black sludge. So I didn't mind it looking like shit on the back, but I guess reason number 3 is the sewing was frustrating me and I was getting tired, and that leads into reason number 3. I'm showing these off, but honestly, these are just for fun, you know? I mean, I'm not about to be selling these guys or anything like that. This is for my own entertainment and satisfaction. So they don't need to be like frickin' my magnum opuses. Like, I'm not trying with them. I do want them to look good. But I'm not gonna throw a temper tantrum if the sewing on one of them isn't particularly good, especially if it's on the back. Like, the front looks fine. I think he looks good in the front. His pants are a little big at the bottom, but whatever, that's okay. The mask, once again, is a another clay piece, like 049. And to create a sludge effect, I actually just took some hot glue and just kind of drizzled some hot glue on the head, so it makes kind of a drippy look. So that's pretty fun. But yeah, definitely a simpler figure, you know, not a crazy bunch going on with him, but I like him, and I'm proud of him, and I think he works well with the rest of the group. So yeah, there is SCP-035.
The easiest way to get out safely is probably Gate A.
Okay, here's the point where the clay becomes a lot more prevalent. So, SCP-096. Production story behind this guy. While I was making him, I was admittedly a little displeased. I was thinking he was going to end up being my least favorite, and not bad, just compared to the others, not easily the lowest tier. But then I started actually making stuff for him, like the head. Again, it's like 096. This is 096. Damn, wrong number again. 106. Very similar method. Although this one might be blended a little bit better, but hey. It's the helmet idea. Cut it off and pop it on the head. Now, the mouth was actually a separate piece, because yeah. That was a little difficult to take off of clay that isn't baked yet, and then pop onto a pan and then put it to the stove. But yeah, that had to go on separately. But my main concern was that SCP-096 is supposed to be a creature with elongated limbs and, you know, a little bit taller than the others. So, since it's the same size as the other ones, I was like, honestly, I don't know if this is gonna work. I tried to make him look different, actually, by... It's possibly difficult to tell, but actually wood carving his limbs so I could try and make them thinner. Lo and behold, I make the head, and I realize that's a stupid idea because the head already looks proportionally good to the rest of the body, so I'm like, man, just screw this. What I did try to do to enforce elongatedness is the fingers. The fingers, this is where we start getting more of the clay. The fingers are clay as well. What I did is I made separate hands to fit them into the hands that were already there. I turned the hands palm up, glued the clay hands onto the top of the palm, and it's hard to see, but on to the clay hands, you see there's some wire that was attached to it. All I did, just for extra secureness, wrap the wire around the wrist, and not at the point where it articulates, obviously, but there you go. And it's just like he's got totally different hands. So, unfortunately, I can't get him into a pose where he's covering his face, but I can at least get him into a pose where he's charging at you. Honestly, I consider that one pretty important, especially if, let's say, for hypothetical, these were actually like action figures and toys. This looks pretty cool. But yeah, we're pushing the time on this one, so let's get on to the next one. Okay, here's the one where we deviate almost entirely from the original game's model. I still like him. Funnily enough, I thought SCP-096 was gonna be my my least favorite, my weakest one, so to say. I think it's pretty obvious which one's the weakest so far. Okay. Enough ripping on this one. Let's talk about what works. So this is SCP-008-1. So it's the zombie plague, except, well, this is the zombie itself. Now, not remembering what this character looks like in the game, I went back and looked up what the model looked like, and if anybody knows, it looks nothing like this. Number one, it's not green. I did base the eyes and the face mask off of it. It's wearing nurse scrubs instead of this. This is where I brought in the white scientist outfit. It does have blood covered all over it, but it definitely don't look like this. I'm gonna be honest, I really just did not like the design. I didn't like the nurse scrubs. If I was going to have another character that was wearing standard issue SCP Foundation work outfits, I wanted to use the scientist because I had already used D-Class for 035, so I went with this instead. So it's based off the design. I just really wanted to do my own thing. Also, yeah, it's stereotypical, but I mean, I'm sorry. I wanted him green. I just wanted it green. Otherwise, he's just gonna look like a really banged up person. I don't know. I didn't really like it. But this is what I got. So this one's probably the most basic figure. There's no clay attachments. It's just clothes and paint. But, you know, he does his job. I mean, he is a zombie. So, you know, again, not my favorite one, but I do like his shoes. But hey, what are you gonna do? Aw, this silly looking guy. So, here we have SCP-1048, the Builder Bear. And once again, this is another SCP where that light is just kind of overexposing the colors a little bit. But, so this color scheme isn't exactly accurate to what I'm literally seeing right now as I'm looking at it. But this is just a simple clay figure. Now, what I was thinking was, as I was finishing up the big mannequin ones, I was like, man, I want a few more SCPs. I could do a few more. What if I did just a few of the small entity SCPs as just little extras? They just kind of can sit around, add some size variety, and just, you know, add a few more popular SCPs. So, I was originally going to do one miniature SCP to go with every tall mannequin one. I didn't do that because I just wanted the entities, and honestly, it was getting to a point where there weren't many SCP Containment Breach entities left. The rest of them were just ending up being objects. So, we only have 3. First one being 1048. This is not any pose or anything he has in the game, but I wanted it easy for him, so he sits down. It's simple. It's a simple design, simple paint job. Nothing much. He's just a cute little teddy bear until he starts making duplicates of himself with one of them made out of ears and the other made out of, I don't know, it's like slab of skin or something. Or, oh no, I think it's made out of like babies or some crap like that. Anyways. Yeah. So, SCP-1048. It's now that I'm realizing that both small clay SCPs are both technically stuffed animals. Weird. This is SCP-006. 066. Sorry. Also known as Eric's Toy. This one, I literally just made a small mountain of clay with 4 round balls of clay. Stuck them on there, popped them in the oven, took them out, took ribbon, and hot glued the ribbon onto the clay. It is so friggin' simple. Then it came to the paint job. Actually, this is a little lazy of me, but this is not originally red thread or yarn. It's actually light blue, but I didn't have any on it, and I really was not interested in spending any more money. There was a simple way to do this, so I just painted it red. Yeah, I know, I made this a lot more difficult for me for no reason. I could have just gone to buy red string, but honestly, it adds a little bit of paint texture and and detail to it that I kind of like. Also, the paint has dried it up, so the yarn is thick and stiff now, so it feels like a figure, and it feels stable. So I do kind of like that. The bottoms, by the way, are just painted black. I mean, they're not meant to be seen, so they're just painted black. But yeah, that is SCP-066. Alright, coming to the tail end, this is the second to last one. This is SCP-079. This one is not clay nor wood. It is cardboard. This was a fun little cardboard experiment to, I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I just took pieces of cardboard, measured them to each other, glued them together, and there we go. We got a friggin' cardboard computer. Now, to make it a little bit more sleek, I did actually, once I hot glued the pieces together, I actually took duct tape and wrapped it around both the pieces just to make it a little bit more clean. Of course, you can see some of the spots where the duct tape was being taped, but I'm okay with it. It's got a nice sleek design to it that I'm satisfied. After that, I actually went outside and spray painted this, again to help with a little bit more of a metallic shimmer, as opposed to the other figures. I didn't spray paint any of them, not a single one except for him. The face is actually a piece of cardboard that I had taken the time to paint the face on, so there you go. And the cable connecting to the back to the keyboard is just some wire that I twisted around to make a strong, sturdy cable that's not going to go all over the place, but it's also going to, you know, look good and form a cable to make it look like a computer. So
You need my help. I need your help.
And so we finish with the final one that I completed. Yes, I made SCP-173 last. Actually, not on purpose. It's because I needed to go get materials for him. I needed to get wire and a little bit of extra clay for him, because this is a full-on clay figure. Yeah, this is not wood. This is a wireframe structure with foil wrapped around it, and then clay modeled around the figure. So, and then painted, obviously. This guy was pretty fun to make, I'm not gonna lie. Now, let's talk about a few disclaimers here. Number one, once again, like some of the others, the proportions are a little on the iffy side here. This is like uber specific. I'm sure some people are looking at this and like, what are you talking about? It looks great, man. It's very, very minor details. Very, very minor details. 173's head is not that slim. Particularly the neck. It is a lot more thick around the neck, but I was struggling with the clay, and also I wasn't trying to use all my friggin' clay on this guy. So it's a little bit more, it's got that shape to it, but it's fine. I mean, there's nothing about this that I'm looking at and it's like, oh, that's not 173. That's such a minor detail. Also, the separation between his legs is not quite that much. Actually, there's a little bit more of his body that comes down, and he's actually got really short, stubby legs. Again, a proportion thing that I noticed, but it's not that big of a deal. What escalates this figure is I actually did an interesting different painting method for this guy. This guy was sort of a layers thing. I do layers for the rest of the other ones. This is more specifically like I do one color and then with very, very wet paint. I did a wet brush for this figure. I don't know if you can tell, but the legs and hands are a little bit more red. That's how they look in the game. That's how they look in that original photo. And yeah, but as you keep going, you can kind of see that there are a few, well, if the light's not doing its thing, it's a little hard to see, but there are a few differentiating minute colors in there to create that look of stone that he has in his interpretation. I do realize that there was that one thing with the original design is copyrighted or something, and now official SCP stuff isn't using this design or something. I haven't checked up on it in a while, but I am aware of that. I have been kind of thinking like, oh, well, what about this guy? What do I want to do with him? I was even debating if I wanted to change up these SCP's designs or not a little bit, but I'm like, I think I just want to go with my original vision and do like full-on SCP Containment Breach inspired figures. So That's what I did. I don't know what the details of that situation are. I don't remember. But this is what I went for. And frankly, I think he looks good. I'm happy with him. And I'm happy with the rest of them too. And I'm really happy that I'm taking this time to show them off to you. And that hopefully someone's watching it and like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. I never thought to do that. But yeah. Don't blink. So yeah, here they all back together again. And, you know, just sort of a conclusion on this little video. I realized that I have not posted any sort of YouTube video or anything in about oh Lord, sorry, I just had dinner. About a year or so, and I've been wanting to do this, do stuff. I really have, but I don't know. The efforts of getting ready for college and all this other stuff, and you know, making the time and motivation to do YouTube after, like, I know you can't expect to have success come immediately. I don't know. It's just this weird, crazy pressure on myself. Anyways, not to, like, seem like I'm gaining sympathy points or anything. I'm not. I'm just talking about what's going on in my own head, you know? But even doing something like this, I should keep doing, because, you know, it's something to watch, and it's a display of things that I do and my talents and art stuff. So I hope someone sees this and they're like, oh, again, you know, like I just said, I hope they think it's cool and it's maybe makes them want to follow more stuff. I do post much more on Instagram. I'm much more of a frequent Instagram poster, but I want to try and do stuff on YouTube as well. I have a few other things coming. I am making a short film, a horror film. I was trying to make a film before, you know, a short film that ended up having an hour-long script. We're not going to talk about that. I am hoping to post clips of progress that I have made on that film, though. But, yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching. I would say stay tuned, but my posting is so infrequent. You know, check up on me whenever you can. I'm going to post as much as I can, but I can't guarantee anything. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this. If you're an SCP fan, I hope you like my figures. Hey, I just said I'm not selling these or anything, but look, man, I do commissions. If anyone sees this and they're like, oh my gosh, I gotta have one of those for myself, you know, haggle a price with me and I might consider it. I might consider it. I could do it if somebody really wants it. But, again, anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. And, yeah, just hang in there.